Let's get back to that breaking news. So the Senate votes on the bill to fund the government through December 3rd. That's ongoing, but they do have the votes to pass it. Once it's passed, it'll go to the House and then to President Biden. Want to bring in Bloomberg's Annmarie Hordern with the latest. Okay, so one hurdle almost down.
Yes, and it's only almost down until December 3rd. We should make that point. They're going to have to deal with this yet again. They're going to come to another potential fiscal cliff, but they did avoid a government shutdown. Right at the moment, this is where it's on track. The Senate has the votes to pass this. It's going to go to the House. Then, Alex, as you say, then the president will sign that into laws. What's going to be interesting later today is what happens in the House regarding the bipartisan, the hard infrastructure agreement, because Speaker Pelosi says this morning she had a lot of optimism that this will go through. They're going to bring it to a vote. But Steny Hoyer, who's the majority leader for the House, when he was asked if he had confidence about that vote, he said nope. And Pramila Jayapal met with the speaker. She left her office and said the votes just aren't there. So this is where things are going to get very interesting in Congress.
And so to that point, now we go, it's essentially buying time for more negotiations, obviously staving off the worst for markets to have to price in, Annmarie. But on those negotiations, what's the likely outcome for some of those spending bills?
Well, bipartisan infrastructure, the hard infrastructure, that has broad appeal, and progressives want to vote for that, but they're not going to vote for it until they see reconciliation. And this is where the negotiations are getting interesting. We heard from Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. He is one of those moderate centrist Democrats. He said his top line figure is $1.5 trillion. In a memo that Senator Schumer also signed back in July, Senator Schumer had known where his thinking was. That $1.5 trillion was a top-line figure, whether or not the progressives can meet him there. Also, the fact that he wanted to see the Federal Reserve start to unwind quantitative easing. So this is where the negotiations are going to be had. It's about the top-line figure and then what exactly goes in the bill to meet that top-line figure. There's also Kyrsten Sinema, who's been meeting with the president a number of times throughout the course of the week. Where does she stand on that top line figure? We're still waiting to find that out. So the bill's not going to be dead in the water if it fails today, but it's going to go on for days, weeks, potentially months for Biden's economic agenda to get his party on board with it.
And just on that point, I'm seeing some headlines here that Sinema continues good faith talks with both the president and with Schumer, and that they are fully aware of her priorities. What does that imply, Annmarie? What are her priorities as people should understand them?
Well, two things I would say. One priority is that it's not $3.5 trillion. She certainly was not comfortable with a number that high. She's probably a little bit closer to where Senator Manchin is, but we don't have her signaling an exact figure. The other priority for Kyrsten Sinema, who we should remind our viewers was at one point a Green Party politician, very much so. She's focused on climate change for Arizona. When I was in Arizona just a few weeks ago, you actually saw the burning of the wildfires from California, a haze in the sky in Arizona. So potentially she wants more money put towards climate initiatives. Those would be the two things I imagine leadership is aware of where she stands right now.